perfection. Pressing towards perfection. As I sat and gave thought to the words of this theme, pressing towards perfection, one of the first things that came to my mind is that we are not a people who are aimlessly wandering through life, but we are pilgrims with a destination. We are not rebels without a cause, but we are soldiers with a mission and a mark. And just like any professional archer with his target in sight, we too must strive to hit the bullseye. Now there are many things in this old world that are designed to blind us or to cause us to fall short of the glory of God. Which is why we cannot rely on the things seen through the physical eye. But we must make this journey seen through the eyes of faith. So needless to say, as we're pressing towards perfection, we must walk by faith and not by sight. For the record is, from faith to faith, the just shall live by faith. You see, the press means to work towards something with consistency in spite of opposition. Now I know that we have come to despise the word opposition because many of us at some point in life has been blindsided by opposition. Especially when you're trying to do something good. Which is why we all can relate with the record that says that every time I try to do good, evil is always present. Don't you know the devil loves to try to throw a monkey wrench in your program? These trials and tribulations that we speak about, these opposition that we preach about, it is not a bunch of fairy tales and made up fables, but it is real life stuff. These are real life issues. The battles, the wounds, the scars, the victories, the feats, the flaws, the fears, the ups and downs that we all go through on a daily basis. It is real life stuff. Which is why you need a real life faith in a real life God. Not in friends, not in family or folk, but in a real God who sits up real high on a real throne and looks down low and is able to do more than we ask or even think. Am I in the house tonight? You need a real life faith in a real life God. I tell you that you need a consistent faith in God in this life because opposition is consistent. You see, when you are blindsided by opposition, the unexpected collision may very well change your direction. It may change your course of life. So if we're ever going to make this journey, there are some things that we must bring along with us. And one thing that we need is a consistent faith in God that will sustain us when drama has us dramatized and our pain has us paralyzed. You see, the reality is that sometimes when we are blindsided, we don't always respond the gospel way. We don't always react to it the way that we should, but sometimes we can get ungodly, lose our focus, and we can lose our footing. And that's because we are far from being perfect in this life, but yet we are oh so close. And I say that because although we are in the world, we are not of the world. Do you hear what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, we are ambassadors of a perfect kingdom that is ruled by a perfect God who sent a perfect Savior to die for an imperfect people. Christ Amen.